Good morning, everyone. My name is Jackie McLaren, and I am the proud principal of Taradale School. On behalf of our Taradale staff, which is about 55 people, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you and to thank our distinguished guests for being here. We are honored to have you join us in our schoolhouse today. Taradale is a place where we dream, believe, and achieve, and we wish the same for all of you. Almost 11 years ago, our community came together for the first time at Greenview School, where our heart started to beat. We were very fortunate to have the opportunity to open a new school, and we waited and watched together as our school was being built in the community of Taradale. When the time came, we packed up and moved. We really did feel like a family moving out of our old house and into our new house. As our parents saw us moving into our new school, they called out, "Come for coffee, come for lunch." It was a very special welcome, and it created our sense of belonging. In that first year, 2009, we opened with 775 kindergarten to grade 6 students, and then in 2012, our middle school, Ted Harrison, opened, and then we became a kindergarten to grade 4 school with 700 students. Our Taradale parents are so very grateful for what they describe as their gift of education. And our Taradale treasures have the golden opportunity to attend their 13 grades, kindergarten to grade 12, in new schools in their own community. Taradale School, Ted Harrison Middle School, and now our high school, Nelson Mandela, as they demonstrate their academic achievement, intellectual engagement, and well-being. It is a special story, and we love to share it when we welcome guests into our Taradale Schoolhouse. And now it is my honor to welcome and introduce our MC for this morning, Minister Irfan Sabir.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see all of you here this morning for this exciting announcement. And let me begin by recognizing that we are all gathered here on the traditional lands of Treaty 7 First Nations. And I will also add the Métis Nation of Alberta share a deep connection with this land. I'm so pleased to be here with Premier Rachel Notley, my colleagues, Brian Malkinson, Emily Suja, Emily Conley, and trustees from the SWAT, and Julia, also trustees from the South. And we are pleased to be here today as we discuss some of the education commitment our government has put forward in our budget that was tabled yesterday. And without going into the details of the announcement, I would like to introduce and ask Premier Rachel Notley to share the good news. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Minister, and thank you as well, Principal. It is so great to be here in Calgary at the beautiful Taradale School. And events like this one, you know, they're often focused on the numbers, and it's right close to budget, so that's not surprising. And while there will be numbers to speak about, we have to remember that when we're talking about education, we're really talking about rooms like this, classrooms, and the kids who spend their days here. Kids who are learning about the world, learning about themselves, learning about, and they're dreaming big dreams about all the amazing things that they are accomplishing and that they hope to accomplish in the future. These kids are Alberta's future, and they deserve modern classrooms, top-notch facilities, and world-class opportunities. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Friends, yesterday we introduced our budget for this year. It's a budget that creates good jobs for people. It diversifies our economy. It protects and improves the things that matter to everyday families. And it did that as Alberta turns a corner that we began to turn last year with 90,000 new full-time jobs created. Last year our economy grew faster than any in the country, and almost every sector of our economy expanded. And while there is a ways still to go to make sure that that recovery is felt by every family across this province, especially here in Calgary, we know that things in Alberta are starting to look up. And so the task ahead of us is to make sure that this time, with this economic recovery, it's built to last. And also that it is built to protect the things that matter to all Albertans. That means keeping our budget on track and balanced, but it also means not making reckless cuts to classrooms like this. And that's why we are providing our schools with stable and predictable funding to make sure that our kids can continue to get the best education possible. And that's why we are also working to end the days that have built over decades and decades of neglect of crammed and overcrowded classrooms. And that's why we're building new schools for our kids. So my friends, I'm very proud to announce that we will be investing in 20 new school capital projects across the province. This is one of the most important investments we can make for the future of our children and the future of Alberta. These projects are a mix of new schools in fast-growing urban centres, replacement schools to revitalize communities and provide updated infrastructure, and modernizations to keep students in spaces that can meet their learning needs. 7 brand new schools will help address growing enrollment in urban centres like Calgary, Edmonton, and Lethbridge. 3 new schools will be built here in Calgary. That includes 2 elementary schools and an elementary junior high to help meet the needs of young families. The 7 replacement schools to be built will better address the needs of rural families around Delia, Provost, and Tilly. 3 school modernizations will also ensure existing schools continue to serve as excellent places for our kids to grow and learn. In Edmonton, in Sherwood Park, and Lacombe. Our plan also includes building a school addition as well as design funding for 2 additional new projects here in Calgary, a middle school in Auburn Bay and a high school in Coventry Hills. We anticipate students will start attending classes in these new and modernized schools in the 2022-23 school year. And with the 2 schools starting the design phase, those will follow closely on those fields. My friends, during the worst of the downturn, when people needed work and when we needed new schools, we chose to put people to work building the schools that we needed. Too often in the past, families were given false hope about schools. Press releases would go out, big photo ops would take place in front of empty fields, but when all was said and done, nothing got built. Those fields where families were promised new schools would be built would in fact go on to remain nothing more than empty fields. But not under this government. The schools we say we're going to build are getting built. In fact, the new schools we are announcing today add to the hundreds that have already been built or are currently being built. After years of overcrowding, over 31,000 Alberta students started class this September in 48 new or modernized schools. Last year, we announced long overdue projects in every corner of the province. And this year's capital plan dedicates $393 million for these additional 20 projects, building on our government's commitment to ensure that we have the schools necessary to meet the needs of our students and our communities. Friends, a child born in Alberta today, and indeed the kids here who learn in this kindergarten classroom, could very well see the 22nd century. Think of the changes that those children will see over that time. Think of the advancements. Think of the opportunities. And today, you and me, all of us, we have the ability to make sure that these kids get the best possible start in life and the best possible education to build whatever life for themselves and for our communities that they choose. When we invest in schools, we invest in our kids, we invest in our communities, and we invest in the next generation of Albertans. This is, in fact, equity. This is something that will build our economy and our future for all of us. And that's what Budget 218 is really, truly all about. It's an honor to be here with all of you here today, and I'd like to thank you all of us again, or thank you all again for joining us here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Premier, and it's truly a great news for this community. And as a resident of this community, as MLA for this area, this area is Green Webet in Calgary, McCall, in general Northeast. That was the single biggest issue that has been raised by the parents. And just in 2 years, we have seen 5 schools coming to Northeast Calgary. Manmeet Singh Pollard School, Hewitt Bennett School, Peter Lahey School, Nelson Mandela School, and Apostles of Jesus School. So it's great to be part of a government that puts education first, that puts children first. And now I will ask a parent who was advocating along with many other parents for this school for a long time to come share a few words. Ravinder Kular.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited about today's announcement. There is a new school in my community. I'm a mother of 2 children. I have a 6 and 33 years old. So I will be benefited greatly from this brand new global school. I have recently spent time collecting signatures from the parents in my community who have also been calling for a school. They will be as excited about this announcement as I am, because this is really be looking for a long time. I'm grateful to this government for continue to make a education priority by building this school. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravinder, for your remarks and for your advocacy for our community. Now I would like to invite Marilyn Dennis, the trustee for this area, to share her thoughts.
Good morning, everyone. I am very pleased to be here with you today representing the Calgary Board of Education. And as the City of Calgary continues to grow, the Calgary Board of Education has an ongoing need for new learning spaces in our new and developing communities. Today's announcement is very exciting for our communities. It means that their children will be able to attend school closer to where they live. This important funding will reduce the need for transportation and will help us to create dynamic spaces that will accommodate the growing learning needs of our students. On behalf of our current and future students, I would like to express our deep gratitude to this government for this announcement of new schools and planning dollars. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn, for your support, and I guess this concludes our formal program. Thank you. It was my pleasure to be here this morning for a very exciting announcement at this school, Taradale School. Today, Premier Notley announced 20 new schools that are in this budget 2018-19, and more importantly, it's exciting news for Northeast Calgary that it will include a new school in Skyview and planning dollars for a high school in Coventry Hills. So ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਨਾਉਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਸੀਗੀ ਇਹ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੂਲ 2018-19 ਦੇ ਬਜਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ, ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਕਾਈਵਿਊ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਪੈਸੇ ਰੱਖੇ ਗਏ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਸਕਾਈਵਿਊ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੀ ਬੇਹੱਦ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਸੀ ਔਰ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੀ ਆਸਕ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਕਾਈਵਿਊ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਸਕਣ, ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਮਿਸ ਫੁਲਫਿਲ ਕੀਤੇ, ਤੇ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਨਾਉਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ।